Let's talk about the mystery of the $1 million onion. In the shadowy realms where culinary secrets intertwine with the arcane, a mystifying tale unfurls, the legend of the $1 million onion. Whispers of this enigmatic vegetable echo through the corridors of gastronomic lore, its story steeped in secrecy and cloaked in the fragrance of clandestine gardens. The narrative begins in an obscure hamlet where a solitary farmer, veiled in anonymity, discovered a seed that bore the promise of opulence. From the sacred soil, under the gaze of a silvery moon, emerged an onion, unlike any other bulb that whispered of untold riches with each layer it unfurled. This vegetable, draped in an air of mystique, became the subject of fervent whispers in the culinary underworld. The onion's taste, it was said, transcended the ordinary, carrying an otherworldly umami that could only be savored by those initiated into the secret art of gastronomy. Rumors of clandestine auctions emerged, where shadowy figures bid exorbitant sums for the privilege of possessing the $1 million onion. Yet, the true allure lay not just in its culinary prowess, but in its uncanny resemblance to another object of intrigue, the tulip bulb. Confusion danced in the air like dappled sunlight through leaves. Some whispered that the $1 million onion, with its layers of mystery, was easily mistaken for the coveted tulip bulb, an object that sparked its own fervent craze. The arrival of the first tulips in northern Europe can be traced back to the heart of the 16th century, a gift from Turkey. Their beauty a revelation that entranced the Swiss naturalist Conrad Gesner. Little did he anticipate the tumult that would ensue. Gesner's fascination with these novelties from Asia Minor unfolded during his visit to the gardens of the learned councillor Herbert in Augsburg, who was a horticultural connoisseur, celebrated across Western Europe for his collection of exotic flora, proudly boasting to have acquired the tulip bulbs as a gift from a friend in Constantinople. Following Gesner's introduction of the tulip to Vienna, an increasing number of travelers marveled at its beauty. Over the next 3 decades, the tulip's importance steadily rose. It wasn't long before these bulbs found fertile soil in the gardens of Germany and the Netherlands. By the late 1570s, the tulip had graced English soil, capturing the immediate affection of the courtly circles. Fast forward to the early 17th century, and the French were enthralled by the tulip's attractiveness. At its beginning, the price of a tulip bulb scarcely surpassed that of other rare plants. However, the humble tulip seized the collective imagination and garnered popular acclaim, and its price rocketed, reaching dizzying heights, and the seeds of a speculative mania were literally sown. The public's gaze was riveted on the tulip, an object that was novel, intriguing, and seemingly capable of ceaseless appreciation. IR is here where we witness the birth of the $1 million onion. In the early stages of its ascent, the aristocracy of Germany and the Netherlands were the primary patrons, directly sourcing their tulips from Constantinople. Culturally and economically, this was the peak of the Netherlands, a golden age. Her extensive merchant fleet, constituting half of the world's commercial shipping, enabled her to dominate the East Indies trade and establish colonies in Asia and the Americas. At home, luminaries like Rembrandt, Vermeer, and Rubens glorified the lifestyle underpinned by this newfound opulence. The tulip's growing popularity in the 1620s led to the birth of new industries, especially in the Netherlands, where growers flourished on a grand scale unlike anywhere else. Beyond the Dutch wealth and status consciousness, the soil and climate played an important role, proving more conducive to bulb cultivation than other regions in Western Europe. Amidst the euphoria of the mid-1630s, a heady cocktail of optimism and unwavering certainty permeated the air. The prevailing sentiment held that poverty, like a receding tide, was on the brink of eternal banishment from the shores of the Zuider Zee. A collective belief took root, daring to envision a future where the boundless riches of all Europe would converge and find their zenith in the flourishing heart of the Netherlands. This buoyant outlook echoed a recent era when the collective imagination, intoxicated by the spiraling price of oil, prophesied a narrative of wealth consolidation in the hands of the Middle East. In these echoes of confidence and grandiose anticipation, the Netherlands stood as the chosen vessel destined to hold the opulence of an entire continent, mirroring the once imagined ascendancy of Middle Eastern dominance in the global economic landscape. The parallels between these epochs of exuberant expectations painted a portrait of societal confidence. where the aspirations for affluence and prosperity danced on the precipice of grand transformation. Tulipomania, a seemingly innocuous fascination with a flower, was in reality a complex reflection of a society in the throes of economic and cultural transformation, characterized by unprecedented heights of extravagance and speculation. A wealthy merchant who prided himself on his ability to discover underpriced tulips ordered a consignment from the Levant. When it arrived, it was delivered to the merchant at his counting house by the sailor who had been in charge of the shipment. As a reward for his efforts, the merchant gave the sailor a herring to eat for his breakfast. It seems the sailor had a great penchant for onions. Lying on a counter was an object which seemed to be an onion. The sailor slipped it into his pocket as a relish for his herring, and left the counting house, proceeding along the quay to eat his breakfast. In the labyrinthine alleys of maritime intrigue, the drama unfolded with a velocity that left no room for reprieve. As the sailor ambled down the quay, a sudden revelation struck the merchant, the priceless Semper Augustus. A treasure valued at a princely sum of 3,000 florins had vanished into the ether. Pandemonium erupted within the counting house as the entire staff plunged into a frenetic search for the elusive route, but it eluded discovery. In the chaos, a flicker of suspicion alighted upon the unwitting sailor. The merchant, propelled by a sense of urgency that mirrored the tempest in his financial seas, stormed into the street, trailed by a retinue of his anxious staff. There, amidst the shadows of the quay, the sailor, a paragon of simplicity, made no pretense of concealment. A scene unfolded that could be mistaken for the theatre of the absurd. An ordinary sailor, blissfully chewing the remnants of an onion, oblivious to the clandestine value it bore. Little did he fathom that his humble breakfast, consumed with the nonchalance of a seafaring soul, held the potential to sustain a ship's crew for an entire year. In the parlance of the despoiled merchant, he could have lavishly adorned the feasting table of none other than the illustrious Prince of Orange and the entire court of the stadtholder. Yet the tragedy of the tale eclipsed the absurdity of the circumstance. The poor sailor, ensnared in the snares of misfortune, found himself shackled by the chains of incarceration for several interminable months, accused of a felony he never comprehended. In the annals of maritime absurdity, this lamentable episode etched a chapter where the price of an onion surpassed the sailor's liberty, leaving a bitter taste in the mouth of justice. Meanwhile, far away, in dimly lit rooms, where the aroma of secrecy mingled with the allure of hidden treasures, collectors and culinary connoisseurs alike found themselves entangled in a web of mystery. Was it the $1 million onion they sought, or did their desires unwittingly veer toward the tulip, that precious bloom that ignited a frenzy? The onion, with its dual identity, became a symbol of intrigue, blurring the lines between culinary myth and historical obsession. Those who pursued its flavor and those who chased the tulip's ghost found themselves entwined in a narrative where the boundaries of taste and history intertwined. Yet, as mysteriously as it appeared, the $1 million onion vanished from the stage, leaving behind a lingering question: was it a vegetable of culinary legend, or did it wear the guise of a tulip, seamlessly blending into the tapestry of historical enigma? In the world where flavors and fables converge, the $1 million onion and the tulip bulb share a secret, forever entwined in the clandestine dance of culinary intrigue, leaving those who chase their tales to decipher the boundaries between reality and culinary myth.